Ever wondered what happens to Amish people when they get old? While your grandparents live in heated retirement homes, Amish elders split firewood at dawn in sub-zero cold, sleep in freezing rooms, and refuse medical care for frostbite. Just 10 shocking realities that would horrify most families. Unheated dotty house. When Amish farmers retire, they move from the main farmhouse into the dotty house, a small attached dwelling typically containing 2 rooms, minimal kitchen space, and basic facilities. This move happens regardless of the elder's preferences. The main house belongs to the son who now operates the farm, and the elder must relocate to make room for the younger family. The dotty house typically has no central heating system. A single wood stove provides heat for the entire space, requiring the elder to maintain fire constantly during winter. When the fire dies overnight, interior temperatures can drop to 40 or 50 degrees by morning. Elderly bodies struggle to maintain core temperature in such conditions, but complaining would suggest weakness or insufficient faith. The small space means limited storage for firewood, requiring daily or twice-daily trips outside to bring in fuel. For elders with arthritis, bad backs, or reduced mobility, these trips through snow and ice pose genuine fall risks. Yet they must maintain their own heat or depend on children for help dependency that reduces their status and voice in family decisions. Many dotty house buildings are older structures with poor insulation, drafty windows, and gaps around doors. The elder must stuff rags in cracks and hang blankets over windows to reduce heat loss. The work of maintaining adequate warmth becomes a full-time occupation during coldest months. Ice baths for health. Amish elders begin each day by washing with cold water, often ice cold in winter, when outdoor pumps and wash basins freeze overnight. This isn't an occasional practice, but a daily ritual performed regardless of temperature. Breaking ice on the wash basin to access water beneath becomes normal morning routine. The practice stems from beliefs about cold water's health benefits and spiritual discipline. Warm water is viewed as weakness and self-indulgence. Using cold water demonstrates proper character and trust in God's provision. Elders who might naturally prefer warm water must use cold to maintain respect and set proper examples for younger generations. The shock of ice water on elderly skin creates genuine health risks. Blood pressure spikes, heart strain increases, and hypothermia risk rises when already cold bodies contact freezing water. Some elders develop chronic cold-related conditions, chilblains, poor circulation, and nerve damage from years of cold water exposure. These conditions go untreated because seeking medical care would admit the practice causes harm. The ritual happens in unheated spaces, outdoor pump areas, or cold washrooms where breath freezes in the air. Elderly hands shake from cold and age as they splash frozen water on faces and arms. The entire washing process must be completed quickly before core body temperature drops dangerously, but rushing creates its own risks for people with reduced coordination. Hand-splitting firewood. Amish elders are expected to maintain their own firewood supply despite age, arthritis, and reduced strength. Each day during winter requires splitting enough wood to keep the dotty house fire burning through the night. This means swinging a heavy splitting maul dozens of times daily, physically demanding work that injures even young, strong people. No power tools means everything happens manually. The elder positions logs on a splitting block, raises the maul overhead, and brings it down with force to split the wood. Bad backs, weak shoulders, and arthritis make this excruciating. Missed strikes can result in maul injuries to legs or feet. Slips on ice-covered splitting areas cause falls that break hips and wrists. The pride of self-sufficiency overrides pain and danger. An elder who asks younger family members for help with firewood admits physical decline, a shameful acknowledgement in cultures valuing strength and independence. Some elders continue splitting wood with injuries that should require medical care, hiding pain to maintain dignity. The daily wood requirement doesn't decrease with age. The dotty house still needs heat, and the elder still needs to provide it. On coldest days when more wood is required, the physical demand increases exactly when elderly bodies are least capable. Some elders spend hours daily on firewood tasks, exhausting themselves in ways that compromise their health. Walking miles for church. Church attendance is mandatory regardless of age, health, or weather. Services happen every other Sunday in rotating homes, sometimes miles from where elders live. When snow makes buggy travel impossible, elders walk sometimes 3 or 4 miles through deep snow and sub-zero temperatures. The walk takes hours for elderly people moving slowly through difficult conditions. They leave home before dawn to arrive on time, traveling in darkness when visibility is poor and footing treacherous. Ice patches cause falls. Deep snow exhausts people with limited strength. Wind chill creates genuine frostbite risk on exposed faces and hands. No one offers to skip church or send a buggy for elders that would insult their capability and suggest special treatment inappropriate for people who should demonstrate faith through endurance. The community expects elders to arrive on time, properly dressed, and without complaint about the journey. Arriving late or mentioning difficulty demonstrates weakness. The return journey after 3-hour services happens when elders are already exhausted and cold. Some struggle so much that younger members eventually notice and offer rides, but accepting help too readily or too often marks the elder as declining and less worthy of respect. The pressure to maintain the appearance of capability pushes elders to dangerous extremes. Winter survival skills. Despite their own struggles with winter, elders are expected to teach grandchildren traditional survival skills that require spending hours outdoors in brutal conditions. Ice fishing lessons mean sitting on frozen ponds in howling wind, teaching patient waiting. Hunting instruction requires pre-dawn expeditions tracking game through snow-covered woods. Trapping lessons involve checking trap lines in remote areas, accessible only by walking. These teaching sessions cannot be shortened or made comfortable. The lessons are about endurance as much as skill learning to tolerate discomfort, maintain focus despite cold, and persist when conditions become difficult. The elder who cuts lessons short because he's cold fails both as teacher and example. Winter foraging knowledge gets passed down through actual practice, not comfortable indoor discussion. The elder must take grandchildren into woods to identify winter-accessible plants, demonstrate proper harvesting, and explain uses. These expeditions happen regardless of the elder's arthritis, reduced mobility, or sensitivity to cold. The teaching role provides purpose and status, creating pressure to continue despite physical suffering. An elder who cannot teach loses one of his few remaining valuable contributions to the community. This drives many to push beyond safe limits, risking their health to maintain relevance. Unheated bedrooms. Amish bedrooms receive no direct heat. The wood stove in the main living area provides warmth that barely reaches sleeping spaces. Winter bedrooms commonly drop to near-freezing temperatures overnight. Elderly people who already struggle with temperature regulation sleep in these conditions nightly. Multiple heavy quilts weighing 15 pounds or more provide insulation. The weight makes rolling over difficult for people with limited strength or mobility. Some elders struggle to breathe under the weight, but cannot reduce it without freezing. Getting out of bed in the morning means leaving warmth into air so cold that breath freezes visible. The health risks are substantial. Hypothermia can develop even under covers if core temperature drops. Breathing freezing air all night strains respiratory systems and aggravates conditions like pneumonia or bronchitis. Poor circulation in extremities can lead to tissue damage from prolonged cold exposure. Modern medical professionals would consider these sleeping conditions elder abuse. But in Amish communities, heated bedrooms represent unacceptable luxury and spiritual weakness. The elder who complains about cold bedrooms reveals poor character and insufficient faith. Most suffer silently, knowing that voicing discomfort would bring shame rather than solutions. Morning chores. Retirement from primary farm work doesn't eliminate morning chore expectations. Elders living in dotty house properties still must feed chickens, gather eggs, bring in firewood, break ice on water troughs, and perform other essential tasks. These chores begin by 4:30 or 5 in the morning, regardless of the elder's age or health. The pre-dawn darkness in winter creates hazards. Poor visibility combines with ice, snow, and the elderly's reduced vision to create dangerous conditions. Falls on ice break bones that heal poorly in elderly bodies. Carrying heavy water buckets or firewood armloads taxes hearts and backs already strained by age. No exemptions exist for being elderly. The work must be completed before breakfast, before the day's other activities begin. An elder who cannot complete morning chores demonstrates declining capability, reducing his status and voice within the family. This pressure drives many to attempt tasks beyond their safe capability. The physical toll accumulates. Daily exposure to extreme cold damages circulation, repeated heavy lifting strains, aging joints, inadequate sleep from early rising compromises health. But stopping means admitting inability to fulfill basic expectations, an acknowledgement that marks the beginning of the end in terms of respect and authority. Fasting. Certain religious observances require fasting, consuming only one meal daily for extended periods. These fasting periods sometimes coincide with the coldest weeks of winter. Elders are expected to participate fully despite the physical toll of reduced calories when bodies need maximum energy to maintain warmth. The fasting typically involves eating one small meal at midday and consuming only water at other times. For elderly people already challenged by cold, this reduction in calories leaves them dangerously vulnerable. Bodies burn extra calories trying to maintain core temperature in cold conditions, calories that aren't being consumed during fasting. Health consequences can be severe. Blood sugar drops cause dizziness, confusion, and falls. Reduced energy makes it harder to maintain fires or complete chores. The combination of cold and insufficient nutrition creates perfect conditions for dangerous health declines. Yet elders must participate or face judgment about spiritual commitment. Community pressure makes refusing to fast nearly impossible. An elder who cites health concerns would be viewed as using age as excuse to avoid spiritual discipline. The expectation is that faith sustains regardless of physical challenges, and elders must demonstrate this faith publicly through participation. All-day funerals. Amish funerals include graveside services that last hours, regardless of weather. Elders must attend these outdoor ceremonies even when temperatures plunge below zero and wind creates dangerous chill. The service involves standing at the burial site for the entire ceremony. No chairs, no shelter, no accommodations for age or cold. These outdoor vigils can last 2 to 3 hours. Elderly people stand in snow, exposed to bitter wind, while services proceed at a deliberate pace that allows no rushing. Feet go numb in boots. Hands freeze despite gloves. Bodies shiver uncontrollably, but leaving early or showing discomfort is unacceptable. The expectation is that elders demonstrate proper respect through attendance and endurance. An elder who skips a funeral or leaves early due to cold faces community judgment about weak faith or poor character. The only acceptable excuse for absence is being physically unable to travel, and even then, questions arise about the elder's dedication. Some elders develop cold-related health crises during or after these extended outdoor exposures. Hypothermia, frostbite, and pneumonia can result from hours standing in extreme cold. Yet the community response is often that God's will was done rather than recognizing the event created preventable health emergency. Refusing modern medical care. When cold-related illnesses or injuries occur, many Amish elders refuse modern medical treatment. Frostbite that could be treated to prevent tissue loss goes untreated. Pneumonia that antibiotics would cure gets addressed only through home remedies and prayer. Fractures from falls on ice heal incorrectly because the elder refuses hospital care. The refusal stems from multiple beliefs. Medical care costs money that elders don't want to burden families with. Seeking treatment suggests insufficient faith in God's healing. Modern medicine represents worldly dependence that contradicts Amish values of self-sufficiency and acceptance of God's will. The consequences can be deadly. Preventable conditions worsen to the point where intervention becomes impossible. Elders die from complications that modern medicine could have easily addressed. Families watch elderly members deteriorate, bound by cultural expectations that prevent them from forcing medical care the elder refuses. Even when pain becomes unbearable or function is lost, many elders maintain refusal. They view suffering as part of God's plan, something to be endured rather than eliminated. This perspective honors their religious convictions but results in entirely preventable suffering and death. Amish elder care represents a completely different philosophy about aging, dignity, and worth. While modern society protects elderly people from hardship, Amish communities expect elders to endure the same difficulties as everyone else, sometimes more to prove their continued faith and strength.